And if you are new to the stream and would like to know what has happened before, you can go on our YouTube channel and watch all of the past episodes. I think there's 70 of them up there, and you can laugh at how pathetic we have been for so long and how slightly less pathetic, hopefully, we are now as we get to tell this new story with you. So thank you for joining us as just a bunch of us friends are together rolling dice and laughing at each other and playing this awesome game known as Dungeons and Dragons. And we are really appreciative of you taking part in the story with us. And so please, by all means, be active in the chat. Let us know what you think. We have several giveaways. You can see them in the little window here. And tonight we're going to be giving away that really cool giant, as well as the pack of dice and those two little minis that are kind of sitting there on the side. And every 50 subscribers that we get, we're going to be giving away a large, cool dragon. And you can see that guy there. He is really cool looking, and we can't wait to give him away when we hit our next 50 subscribers. So tell your friends. You can win some really cool stuff if you like D&D, if you're a DM, if you're a player. Great way to add to your collection by being part of our show here. Well, we, as I said, are starting a new campaign, so we're just going to jump right in. And we're going to start with our little recap so that you know what has been going on in the world of the Sword Coast. And that is where our campaign takes place. It's in the Forgotten Realms, the world of Toril, on the Sword Coast. And our party, well, at least one member of our party, has been adventuring in the Sword Coast for the last year plus. And the Sword Coast is a place, as you would imagine, set in a fantasy setting with swords and sorcery and all kinds of creatures and monsters all around. And we are continuing that story as now the story has been taking place in the west of the Sword Coast, and now it transfers to the east. And our story begins on a stormy, wintry day. It is the first day of Hammer, which for us would be January. The new year has just dawned, and there has been a storm brewing in the east. And this storm is centered over the Anarok Desert. And there have been all kinds of nefarious monsters, dragons, men, bandits, these cabals of evil that have been going forth and wreaking havoc all around the Sword Coast in the north, south, east, and west. Morthos, after suffering a terrible loss of his friends, has made his way slowly as he was blinded in the last battle that took place, and has slowly made his way to the east after receiving some aid and some new training to deal with his new state of affairs. And as he approaches the Anarok Desert on the western Anarok, which on our map you can kind of see is in the northwestern quadrant of this eastern theater here, he approaches the beautiful, secluded town known as Everesca in the Grey Cloak Mountains. And you only can get to Everesca if you know someone who knows how to get there and they show you the way. Now, Morthos has been guided to this remote village and the small little inn that sits at the base of the hill, known as the Halfway Inn, by Vajra Safar, the Black Staff of Waterdeep, a very powerful mage who has been assisting Morthos on his way. And so, as Morthos arrives at the halfway inn, he has been speaking with Vajra Safar and getting the lay of the land and his orders for gathering the first member of the new party that he is set to assemble and to train to assist with the danger in the east. And so, Morthos, as you approach, there is snow on the ground. There is a bit of a flurry wisping through the clouds as you approach the foothills of the Grey Cloak Mountains. There's a bite in the air.
I love the winter time.
And Vajra is reminding you of what you are to do here. Now, Morthos, the first ally you must gather is a kindly old halfling named Killian.
A halfling, you say?
Yes. He hails from Evereska, up the mountain. It is a jewel of a city nestled in the mountains, but you are not to go there. My sources tell me that he spends most of his time in the inn, selling his paintings and other fine trinkets. Though his look is diminutive, there is wisdom, experience, and an even head that will be invaluable as you go forth. And he is a good talker, which will assist you well as you listen.
My favorite type of person, one who never shuts up.
As you go, the wind begins to pick up as you trudge along in the snow. And as you move forward, you see that there is life. There is life among this little village, and you see in your own particular way. And before you is a donkey hitched to a little post outside of the halfway inn. And coming out, just as you are approaching, is in fact a small little halfling man who approaches the donkey and begins to just kind of pet the donkey and talk softly to it. Vajra speaks up. Ah, it is fortuitous. There he is. Make your approach. See if he will join us on our journey.
So I will walk right up to him. Try not to startle him. I'll try to announce my presence, let him know that I'm there. That, excuse me, little one.
Oh, are you talking to me, good sir?
I believe so. I believe your name is Killian.
The last time I checked it is, yes.
Yes. I've heard good things about you. I'm on a quest, and I am in desperate need
of some paintings.
No.
I've got plenty of those. They're nice and I like to do that. No paintings.
Me.
Okay.
I mean, unless you want me to throw my daggers at them.
No, that's
that's about all I could see a painting is good for.
Ooh, I'm not.
Anyway. I need to form a team of people. It is very important that you come join me on my quest. I have been told that you are going to be rather important for my journey. I would like you to join me if you would.
Like, you want me to leave here and
yes,
go?
I would. I would actually like you to join me on my trip and
See,
help me to. Hey, this is a matter of saving the world.
I understand, sir. I did the whole adventuring thing once. I'm an old man now, you see, and I'm not sure that it's really for me anymore.
I take my cane and I kind of jab it on the ground. I don't think you are listening to me. I need you to come with me.
Sir, you're going to need to calm down. The anger doesn't usually solve anything, you know. You just got to take a deep breath And we'll just...
You do not
just
understand. We do not have time to waste.
There's
You
always...
must come with
hurry,
me.
hurry. It does... There's always a thing going on in the world that, you know, people will take care of.
Yes, if you
and
only knew what I have been through, what I have witnessed, what I know, you
Well,
would understand the peril
I
that
can
this
tell
world
it-
is in and how you must come with me now.
Killian, as you kind of take Morthos in, you see a tiefling before you that is quite unique and looks rather haggard and desperate. Morthos, why don't you kind of just describe your appearance for us?
So, as was said, Morthos is a tiefling. He is draped in almost all black garb. He stands about 6 foot tall, about 180 pounds, very lean built. A couple of things you'll notice is that obviously he's a tiefling with a long tail, but his tail remains hidden. In fact, you would not even know he had a tail unless you knew to look for it. The other thing that will strike you extremely odd is that his face is always covered. However, even though his face is almost shrouded in what it appears to be darkness, you can still see his eyes peer through the darkness of his face. You'll see that his skin is very dark. You'll see streaks of kind of orange and red flowing through his very dark brownish, almost black colored skin. And you can tell that he's obviously been beaten and battered in many battles throughout the years. And now just looks to be extremely focused but almost desperate to try to get on his way.
And so, as you look up at this intense figure with those radiant eyes peering through the darkness, there is a sense, as I said, of desperation in the man. And Morthos, as you look down at this halfling, he has a very curious look. And you kind of take him in and try to think, how can I convince this figure to join me? I know how important he is. And you kind of stare at him, taking in his image and wondering, what has he been through? Killian, would you describe your appearance, please?
Yeah, so before you stands a whopping 3'1", 117-year-old halfling.
Wow.
35 pounds, so light
35 pounds.
light and thin.
So my knapsack is heavier.
Yep. You know, his eyes are a deep hazel, and they're really the only thing that would tell you that he's had some years on him. He's aged quite well. His hair is sandy blonde. It's unkempt, about shoulder length, really frizzy and frayed. Some would say kind of like a mane. There are 3 scars that you can see that start from the bottom of his right ear, and they go down underneath his cardigan, which he is wearing. He wears a green cardigan most of the time. He's, you know, not overly cold and is comfortable in the winter, and he's been outside all his life. He wears capris. Gray capris, yeah, that are, you know, pants just rolled up, I guess, in this world. But he has a staff in his left arm, and if you noticed him when he walked out, he kind of had a little bit of a limp to him, and doesn't appear that he uses his right arm very well. He's got a donkey with him. It's a small donkey that pulls a small cart with him as well. Again, there's just those lines on his face that would give you just a slight, this man might be old. But other than that, he looks like he's in pretty svelte shape.
And so, Morthos, as you take him in, Vajra's words now come to you. And she says in your mind, and you see Killian, this figure, just kind of staring intently at you, and then his shoulders kind of pick up and his ear kind of cocks as if he was listening to something. And with your passive perception, you kind of, again, you pick this up and it's interesting to you. Vajra says to you, Morthos, you must tell him exactly what I say.
Are you sure this is the one? He's so little. Are you sure this is the right man that we need?
Name is sure. Yes.
Fine. What can I tell him?
Tell him it is time to pass on what you have learned. Go ahead.
Gillian,
Yes, good sir.
it is time to pass on what you have learned.
If you follow me,
If you follow me,
there will be ample learners
there will be ample learners
to gain from your wisdom
to gain from your wisdom
and to prepare for the unforgiving world they face.
and to prepare for the unforgiving world that they face.
The time has come
The time has come
to awaken those
to awaken those
who have been entrusted to you.
who have been entrusted to you.
I will listen,
I will listen,
and you will speak,
and you will speak.
and together we shall be a force
And together we will be a force
to stem the tide of the gathering storm.
to stem the tide of the gathering storm.
I am with you.
I am with you.
Walk with me.
Walk with me. And he kind of just puts his hands on top of his cane and waits.
I'm with you. Walk with me. Well, good sir, all of us at some time or another need help. And whether we're giving or receiving help, each one of us has something valuable to bring to this world. That's just one of the things that connects us as, well, you might say, neighbors. In our own each way. Each one of us is a giver and a receiver. I will go with you.
That was a
It
lot
is
of
time.
words to say you will go.
I want to be your neighbor. Will you be mine?
If you will go, sure, I will be anything.
Okay. Well, I could tell that you are a very special person. You have a lot of good qualities. You've been through a lot. And, well, I hope that, I don't know about all this talking. I don't necessarily do a lot of that anymore. But, I'll help you. And maybe we'll learn some new beauty and create some new things on our way. Sound good?
It does. And then he kind of looks over his shoulder and goes, I hope you know what the hell you are doing.
I know. And so, Killian, you
Would you like a cup of tea before we go? It's good to to take a rest before. It sounds like this is gonna be a big journey.
Sure. Maybe a cup of tea would not be so bad.
So should we? You want to head up onto my house? You can stay the night.
Do not have a ton of time. We must be on quickly.
Well, does that
We have a lot
leave
of
right now? So
we have
quick
a lot
tea
of-
right here.
we have a lot of land to cover. We must gather more.
All right. Well, I think we'll get Bill the Burrow here to take your things, and we can skedaddle on out of here.
Sure.
Where are we going?
And so you guys begin to
You
have
te-
your
you tell me.
conversation. And Morthos, you describe to Killian the call that you have from Vajra, the Black Staff of Waterdeep, to gather a team who have been specifically chosen to be part of the Shades, the gray hands in the east that will combat the enemies gathering there against the forces of good around the Sword Coast. And so from Everesca, if you want to look here on the map, from Everesca, in the beginning of Hammer, you travel for about almost 2 months south along the outskirts of the desert down into the Sunset Mountains. And as you move down south, the winter weather, though chilly, gives way to a warmer climate. Think like the south. And it is very alive with life as you move into forested lands. You don't travel high up into the mountains. You stay along the hills of the mountains. And as you move near the end of Alturiak, which is our February, it's the 20th, along the mountains, you are making your way, talking about the quest that you are engaged upon. So if you care to have any further conversation, now that you've been together for about 5-10 days, anything further you wish to discuss?
Morty, we've been together for about 5-10 days, and I was wondering, we haven't talked much about what happened to you before you got to me, and you said all the stuff that I needed to hear to come on this little trip of yours. It's like real specific, like. And I was just thinking, maybe you could tell me a little bit more about what happened, and and what's gonna happen. I'm all for it now, but I just need to kind of hear some of your story, maybe. I like you. I think your story's important, by the way.
Well, this story is not exactly an easy one to tell. It has been a long journey so far, and one I would gladly wish was over, but I'm fearful that this is a long time yet before we will see the end of this trip. It was a kind of I don't know, it was kind of fate that I ran into a group of people back in a city way back, and we kind of ran around trying to do some good, help some people here there, mostly make some coin. Never hurts to make some coin. And eventually this group of people became like a family to me, and we uncovered that there is deep evil in this world, and they are just power hungry, and the easiest way to say it is, if we did not attempt to stop them, the world was going to be destroyed. People coming from the north, the west, the east, the south, above and below, they were going to destroy everything. So my party and we went out to try to stop this evil, and as of right now, I am the only one that I know that is left standing.
Oh, well, it's quite brave of you guys to take on that evil in the world, and I am truly sorry to hear about the loss in your life.
Yes.
I've been there too. I've done, like I said, some traveling and some adventuring, and fought in the war even, and there was, I've lost some friends, and they say that being blood makes you relative, but that doesn't necessarily make you family, and it sounded like you found a family that wasn't necessarily
I would
blood.
never have told them, but I truly love them like brothers and sisters. They were my family, and they are gone. Some of them I don't even know what has happened. I don't know if they are dead, alive. I just know that they are no longer with me. And as you know, as we have talked, the Greyhands, I am led by Vajra. She is determined that we fulfill this mission. She calls it our destiny.
Mm.
And, you are a part of that now, and apparently there are a couple more individuals that they have determined will help us succeed in this quest.
Yeah,
I hope it does not have the same fate as the last one.
well, I think that, if you do find a new family in this new comrades, and I know it's hard, but if you open up yourself, maybe you won't forget to tell us before it's too late. And I did hear a long time ago that, everybody has their own story, and it's being told, and, we're in ours right now. We can only see ours, but what we have to do is make the most of what we got, and it looks like you're continuing to do that, and I'm proud to walk by you, making the best of our stories together.
You know, for such a wee little man, you are very wise.
Well,
I understand
thank you.
why Vajra said you would be important.
Very
We
nice.
did not have in our previous party someone nearly as wise as you. In fact, there was not anyone even close to
What-
your level of wonderful wisdom that you speak.
Well, you're quite flattering, good sir. It's a good thing I'm doing all the talking, huh?
As you continue on, you are enjoying the pleasant environs. Your friend seems at times to chirp and whistle, and birds will fly by and land on his finger, and he will almost speak to the wildlife and the plant life around him, and they seem to incline an ear and listen. And it's a very impressive display of being in tune with nature around. And as you both talk at times and then travel silently, Killian riding atop his burro named Bill, and you walking alongside, eventually a voice that you haven't heard in a while rings through your mind. Well, you are approaching the next member of your party. How are you doing, by the way?
It has been a long journey so far, but this little guy, he has some value. I see why you chose him.
He makes some good tea too, I hear.
Yes, well, remember, you are the listener, he is the speaker, and so it might be best to let him lead as you approach the remainder. Of course, when it is time, if necessary, I will let you know what to say, for Nain has revealed it.
All right.
And about this time, you hear in the distance a hi-ya sound as you look, and there is a very large figure, though the size of the figure is kind of hard to tell at the distance. Is it a giant? Is it a very tall man? Why is it attacking that tree branch? What's going on? And as you approach, this figure is intently focused on what appear to be some sort of training exercises that it's going through. Molly, would you like to describe your character?
What you see is a 7.5-foot tall female storm giant. She's athletically built. She has gray skin, emerald green piercing eyes, purple hair with just a hint of a silvery gray, and her hair is indistinctly high pigtails. As you notice her, all her clothes are in the color of a storm. Her shirt is a bright blue, her pants are dark black, and she has a belt that's a bright yellow. She also has a stone-headed hammer, and as you can see, there are small little wavy lines going all the way up the hammer. And in the middle of her belt, she has, appears to be a square with those same wavy lines on it, and an armband, again, with those lines on them.
And so as you approach this storm giant, Vajra speaks up again. He says, "This is the second ally you must gather. She is an adolescent storm giant named Ray. She will in time grow massive, and perhaps then will be a very powerful ally indeed. But until then, it is for you to help guide her. She is young and naive, but has a kind heart, and will be a force to be reckoned with as she matures. It is time for you to greet her. You and Killian must bring her to our cause."
Killian, you see that young storm giant over there?
Yes, she's quite strong, isn't she? Look at her chopping
Yes,
that branch off.
That is the next member of our party.
Ooh, exciting. Should we go introduce ourselves?
I think we should, and I think it would be wise for... I can be a little brash if I maybe let you do the talking.
Okay. Well, you're learning. It's okay. You'll get there eventually. It's just quieter tones and more patience a little bit will help go a long way.
Patience, yes.
About this time, Ray, you sense that there is someone coming down the road, so you stop your exercises and turn to face them, and there before you, you see a small halfling riding atop a donkey with a very kind smile, looking and kind of waving at you, and you see a man next to him with a black shroud over his face and two glowing eyes peering through, decidedly more menacing, and it's an odd pair with this happy little halfling and this dark and a menacing figure next to him.
I immediately wave. Hi, fellow travelers! How are you guys doing today? It's so crazy we're on the same road. Isn't this beautiful? I've always dreamed of what this place would look like, but now I get to see it from my
you've
own
got to
eyes.
be kidding me.
Oh,
how-
I'm sorry.
It's
Sometimes I go off on tangents a little bit,
Well-
and I just tend to run off. My parents always scold me about it,
Wha-
but it's something I'm trying to learn.
Well, hello there, miss. What's your name?
Oh, my name is Ray Esmeralda, but you guys can call me Ray. Kind of like the sun and like the stars.
That is-
Yeah.
That is quite a beautiful name, and I could tell you are quite an exciting person.
I am. There's just so much joy in the world, isn't there?
There really is, and you know what I found is that if you can pause and really listen to the things around you, you can really enjoy
But
the
why
beauty.
listen when I can just keep talking about it and share my experience with anybody? Doesn't that make it so much more fun? What's your name, by the way?
Oh, my name's Killian. Thanks for asking.
Killian, that's so cool. What
This
kind
is-
of nickname can I do with Killian? Kill? No, that's just way too extreme. Leon? No, that's dumb. I'll have to think of a nickname for you. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
really into nicknames.
It's cool. Let me introduce you to my friend Morty.
Oh, Morty! Hi,
his
Morty.
real
I
name's-
had a great-grandfather named Morty. Well, really,
It
his name
is
was Mordecai.
Morthos.
His name is Morthos. I gave you the
Morthos,
nickname for that
not
one. You
Morty.
like that one? Oh, not
I
Morty.
like
I'm
Morty.
sorry,
Can I
good
call
sir.
you Morty? May I please call you Morty? Please?
Ray.
And I give like big puppy dog eyes.
Hey, Ray, what you doing out here in the wilderness? Oh, by the way, do you hear the birds?
I do hear the birds. It's so
Do-
cool.
do you
I
know
actually
when I-
made a little whittle of a bird. See?
Really?
And I hold up like a little robin.
And she has, in fact, very, very skillfully whittled a bird.
You
Wow,
see?
that's beautiful.
Thank you. See, when I practice on the tree, sometimes the branches fall down, and I'm like, what can I do with the branches? I don't want to waste them. So I just make little creatures out of them, of things that I see, and then I have a memoir of every animal that I saw. Isn't that just so cool? I
That
also
is-
have this little
I
person right
like
here.
to make things too. You see, I've got some paintings here that I like to make as well of the beautiful nature. Before we turn it back over to you, can I ask what you're doing out here, and would you be willing to accompany us for a while here?
Well, first off, those paintings are beautiful.
Well,
That's
thank
so
you.
talented. But no, unfortunately, I'm on a mission. Oh, unfortunately, I've been sent out, and I am looking for my own path.
Oh, well, you know, that we can share a path. You know, just because you're on your own path and we're on our own path doesn't mean that we're actually walking the same path.
Oh, no, though. You see, I was given a very specific task from my elders, and I have to follow out that task, or else they're going to send me home, and I failed my mission. So I'm sorry, I can't. I must go.
Are you sure? Because I think that Morthos and I could be some pretty useful companions.
I bet, but what happens if you guys aren't looking for the right thing? I am on a quest from a nom, and I must fulfill that
Oh, well,
quest.
that
Morthos,
sounds very
as
important.
these two are talking on the side, you hear the voice again in your mind.
That was awesome.
And you see Ray continuing
She's on
to
an important quest,
gesture
Morthos.
excitedly, and Killian is there trying to do his best to calm her down and speak words of peace over her. And you hear Vajra again in your mind. This one is excitable. Did not realize this much. Well, this is what you must tell her, Morthos. Follow me, and you will find the origins of the threat your people have sent you to find.
Ray. Follow me, and you will find the origins of the threat to your people.
At that, my hammer just kind of falls to my side. Who told you about that? How do you know that? And I brandish it.
Whoa.
I
Tell
Easy.
her that the visions of the elders will come to pass, but that she has the opportunity to stop them with you.
The visions of the elders will come to pass, but you have the ability to stop them along with us.
But how is this? So you guys are on a quest to defeat evil too?
Yes, my child. And I would say our quest is the most important quest.
Well,
to squelch.
to defeat evil and bring about beauty and other things in the world as well, some good. So you squelch the evil and then you bring up
Of course, the land of
bring the
Anam.
good. Well, something like that.
And are you guys sure you're not evil? Am I being tricked?
Morthos, are you evil?
Not anymore.
Well, that's good. I'm not evil anymore either.
Well, I trust you guys. Which way are you guys going? Because I was going down that road, and I mean, if it works out, like, we can travel for a while, but if I get another calling from my people or from Anam, I will part ways. But as long as we're traveling on the same path, I don't really see the harm. I mean, you guys, I'm not gonna lie, you guys are pretty cool. I really like you, and you I'm kind of interested to get to know. I can't really see your face or anything, but you seem really interesting and kind of like dark and mysterious, and those are always fun people to crack.
And Ray keeps talking, and you guys, both of you, can start walking southerly, like she just pointed, and she just starts following you,
With a little skip in my step.
continuing to talk.
That's like a thud.
As yeah, as she slings the massive warhammer back over her shoulder and kind of attaches it to her back, and she is just a chatterbox as you go. And so the days continue on, and you travel south through the Sunset Mountains, and you come to the fields that are known as the Green Fields in kind of the western portion here, and you begin heading, the eastern portion of the Green Fields, and you begin heading to the east as Vajra directs you to the port city of Westgate. And she explains to you that Westgate is the gateway to the west from, well, the east. It sits at the mouth of the confluence of the Lake of Dragons and the Sea of Fallen Stars, and has been a very, very important trade city for thousands of years, as it has changed hands over the millennia. And it presently is a independent city-state that has a triumvirate of leaders, all of whom are rather corrupt. You see, the city is considered a bit of a cesspool for scum and villainy. And yet there are good people that remain, and there is a very healthy degree of commerce that travels through here as it makes its way throughout the Sea of Fallen Stars. And so as you leave the forest environs, you come into a bustling city that has probably 30,000 people. It's rather large, though not as large as Waterdeep, but larger than Amphil that you have seen. It has a very developed dock ward, and Vajra says that your next ally is in fact located in the dock ward. It's a captain of a ship who is quite what does Vajra say? She says that he's quite the character. And as you approach, you hear the calls of the dock hands as they are loading and unloading their wares. And she reminds you, which she has only recently let you know, that you have about 14 days to gather your party and make your way on the water to your first stop, your first quest. And as she explains the timeline to you, it is currently the 5th of Ches, which is essentially March 5th. And 14 days on the 19th of Ches is in fact the vernal equinox, the spring equinox. And it is imperative, she explains, that you have your final 3 members gathered, all of whom are located within Westgate and on your way to your first meeting point. And so as you get to the docks, the smell of fish greets you, the sounds of the market and the trade going on, and you see there a small trading vessel that you are directed to, a small little sloop. It's got a single mast with 2 sails, a head sail and a mainsail, and there look to be several packages of cargo strapped on. There's a little back cabin large enough for a handful of crew, and the vessel is maybe 15 feet wide and about 40 feet long. It's not very large, but it is large enough to get around and to weather the open waters for a time, though this type of ship is meant primarily to stay close to land and do more like a little land kind of puddle jumping from port to port rather than to stay in the open sea for too long. And there, as you approach, Vajra speaks up, and she says, "So, the third ally you must gather is a precocious tabaxi named Oliver. He is full of life and loves a good story. His charismatic ways and skill with a sword and knowledge of the seas will prove critical in stemming the forces in the east. You may approach and see if you can have him join the team."
Can I just, do you have a, like, when she speaks, do you do anything physically that would, like, tip me off to know when you're hearing from her?
Have you ever seen Scrubs? When JD has his inner monologue, he does this. You should do that.
That is, in fact, exactly what he does.
What is happening?
Is it happening again, sir?
Yes. She says our next party member is on the ship in front of us.
Oh, more friends!
He
And you hear this exclamation, Ollie, and you look, and the 3 of you see this tabaxi. Its ears poke up, and then its tail pokes up, and all 3 of them look at you. Please describe your appearance.
You see a tall, lanky snow leopard who's walking on 2 feet. He's got baggy teal pants, and at both of his sides, both of his hips, he has 2 scimitars. On his right hip, it looks like nothing, just your classic steel scimitar. On his left hip, it clearly looks special. It's ivory colored, and it looks like there's engravings on it. And he seems to have a very happy disposition, and he's just humming to himself and talking to his tail a little bit while he's packing up on his ship.
And so he looks at you. You 3 look at him. Ray kind of waving with both hands. Morthos, you see a shaded character with 2 eyes that just pierce through the shadow. And you have a small little halfling who kind of looks over at the other 2, gives a Ray in particular, with a smile on his face, kind of shakes his head and regards you.
Ahoy, good sir. How you doing up there?
Oi, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing very well, thank you.
It's awesome.
What's your name?
Name's Oliver, Captain Oliver Flotsam, or Ollie. Any of those four will work.
Wow, that's quite a lot of special names. You got
Oh,
there.
yeah, you know.
You must be a very special. What exactly are you?
I'm a Tabashi.
Tabashi.
Yeah, Tabashi. Oh, you said it right.
I thought that was a tabaxi.
Oh, you land people never get that right. Yeah,
I
the
just-
X is like a she, Tabashi.
So, Mr. Tabashi,
Oh, no, it's Oliver.
Oh.
Captain Oliver, Flotsam, or Ollie.
Flotsam,
Flotsam.
Flotsam,
Like Flotsam and Jetsam.
Flotsam.
Yeah, Flotsam. That's what I said.
This is gonna be fun, good sir.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, can you tell me a little bit about your boat here, sir?
Oh, the gym boy here. Yeah. It's a trading vessel. Like I said, I'm a captain. Got it when I graduated.
Congratulations.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a big deal.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to be like an official captain. It's not that easy, but you know.
Oh, so we're more like a captain.
I'm kind of in my internship, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And internship, get it? Because I have a ship. Yeah. What's that part? Yeah. No. And
Oh,
you see
who's-
his
Who
tail.
are you talking to?
It's my first mate, my best friend, my tail, Bart.
And I'm like looking all over for somebody else.
And then Bart pops up over his shoulder. Bart, say hello. And Bart waves, and then he starts bowing, and then he forms himself into like if he had a top hat on and he was taking it off and top hatting everyone, and like, all right, that's enough. They know you're here.
Oh, that's a special friend you got there.
Oh, it's my first mate, Bart. Yeah.
So you're telling me about your boat here, sir?
Yep. The
So
gym boy.
it's yours, gym boy?
Yeah, I was given it by my parents.
Are you taking it out anytime? Are you staying around
Well,
here for a while?
it's funny how you ask.
What's your plans?
Yeah, in order to graduate from Bard College, not Bot College.
Bot.
Yeah, Bot. I saw it on your
Bod?
face. Yeah, Bot.
Bot doesn't go to college.
No,
but
well,
you're
he
going
does.
To, oh, he is in college.
Because he's attached to me.
University.
Yeah, I go to college.